What's good, YouTube? Dom, Staven Sports Cards here, back with another video. The National is all done. Ended today. My last day was yesterday. I left about halfway through on Saturday. Spent over 20 hours in the convention center, and my knees are feeling it, but it was awesome. I enjoyed every single second of it thoroughly. It is a sports card mecca. Like, there's no better way to say it. It is huge. There's no amount of preparation. I've watched videos for years about the National, at the National, recapping the National. Nothing can prepare you for a show of this magnitude except for just taking the leap and going to one. And for the first hour and a half, despite my plans and how I wanted to break things down, not miss aisles, I got kind of lost looking at showcase after showcase of really awesome stuff. Tons of vintage at the show. And I just was having a great time. Day one, I knew that it wouldn't be great for me to value box hunt. I love to do that at local shows, but at a show that's this big, it's not always the best idea to value box off the jump. I know that the day before, there was 4 hours of showtime for the public, and there's also the half hour before the VIPs get in. So 4 to 5 hours of the public being able to shop ahead of you and look in the value boxes for any steals. And then the dealers also go to each other's tables and pick through showcases and value boxes. So a lot of the value boxes could have been looked through or picked. I decided day one was about learning the show floor, showcase hunting, and writing down where my key cards I was looking for were. And that's what I really did. I would try to write down the booth number, take a picture of the card, take a picture of where it was, and have that for any card that I was interested in my grade and price range. And the system worked pretty well. I was able to pick up a few cards that were on my list for my Frank Robinson run. When I found good deals, I just took them. But for the bigger rookies and stuff, I decided to hold off. I knew that deals would get better as the week went on, and I still needed to see the entire show floor before I picked something up. I didn't want to buy something that I liked and then go halfway down the aisle and find something that had better attributes that I like in a card for a similar, better price. I just didn't want that to happen. So day one, I was very patient. The vintage hobby is about patience. And 2 hours in, I ran into Jake. Legends Never Die. He's been supporting my channel since the very beginning, and me and him became friends through the comment section. We're interested into the same kind of things, and he was looking through Perez steals, go figure. He's sitting there with Eric, 4-leaf cards, and got to meet them. Jake gave me his custom. Eric let me participate in the $5 challenge. So honored to be a part of that. I've seen that in people's videos, and it was really cool that I got to contribute to that. Looking forward to that video. And within minutes, Mike Baseball Collector pulls up, and Jake introduces me to him and the YouTubers that he's with. Mike records at that dealer's booth part of his video talking about the Perez deals he picked up. I got to see that live in person, so that was cool. And then within a 10-15 minute period, that entire side aisle packed with YouTubers. I've just introduced myself left and right, talking about what we're trying to pick up. People are showing me their pickups. I'm getting to see them like right after they got them. They still got the smile on their face, and it's so cool. It was refreshing. This hobby's been so independent for me for a long time. My parents they support it. They know I love it, but they don't quite understand. And it's a big part of the reason I got into YouTube was to make those connections and friendships and have people that are passionate about the same things I am. And I really felt it in that moment. Eric Those Back Pages, who's a great guy, he said perfectly that when you walk into the convention center, there's thousands of people that know what you're talking about. And I really felt that in that moment. I was like, I'm not alone in this hobby. there's all these people that, even if they don't know me, know what I'm talking about. And I was able to go from there. We have that general connection through cardboard. I think it's a really beautiful thing. Talk with them for like 15, 20 minutes. Then I just go on my way, keep looking through the cases. But the people were the biggest highlight of the day. I picked up my Lou Brock rookie, which I agreed to pay for before the show, and picked up some smaller stuff, but the highlight was the people. And it was really amplified at the Sheraton that night at 7 o'clock. Mike Baseball Collector hosted the meetup. Thank you for hosting and inviting everybody. I felt really welcomed right off the bat. You guys are all super awesome. There were so many people at the meet and greet. I'm not going to try to name everybody because you guys say in your videos all the time, if I start naming people, I will leave someone out. But I finally got to meet Brian, B-Roth6, my good friend, in person. We tried to meet up at the show, no kid you, like 5 times. And the connection was so awful that we just kept getting our messages like way late. It just was not working at all. So got to meet him, bought some cards from him, just chatting up tons of people, introducing myself. I learned about some new channels. Some people learned about my channel. Got to see some really awesome pickups that hadn't been posted on the internet yet. Some really big cards too. I'm sure that you'll see throughout the week or so with people recapping and showing their pickups. Everyone's got a great eye in this hobby, and the fact that they were willing to like share their knowledge and pickups with me was just really surreal. Dr. James Beckett was there, which was a surprise to me and I think most people. But he's a legend in the hobby. I got to introduce myself to him, and he's just great. But despite that, I just got so caught up in the great conversations and stuff that I was having throughout the night, picking some stuff up too for my collection. There's a few people that I really wanted to meet, and I just didn't. And lessons learned, you can't get everything you want, but that night was the highlight of day one. Like by far, meeting people, starting in that aisle with Jake and everybody that clumped up, and then at the YouTube get together. It was just so great to make those connections and introduce myself and put my name and face out there. You guys are so great, and I felt welcomed from the start, even though I'm the smallest of blips on the radar here in the community. So I just want to thank every last one of you that I met this week. You were all so kind, so generous with your knowledge and time. I just cannot thank you guys enough. It really made this trip so much more worth it for me than just going and looking and picking up cards, which is what usually a card show is. So appreciate that. Friday was about making plays. And if you watched the video for my day 2 recap, your boy made plays. I got 3 of the big cards on my Infinity Gauntlet that I was looking for. Did not have as much Frank Robinson luck on day 2, but I did pick up a lot of stuff that I wasn't expecting to pick up. Some really cool cards, so definitely check out that video if you haven't. And it just ended with the best part again. Despite all the great stuff that I picked up on Friday, the highlights were at the show, running into the YouTubers that I had met the day before and being able to stop and talk shop with them. And then the meet and greet that happened that night. Joe Silverjackify in Filmington hosted it at the Claridge, the rooftop bar, the View. You've probably seen some videos from there. And Frank TTM, he shouted me out on his channel, so thank you, Frank. I appreciate that. There was just so many great guys that I met or caught up with that I hadn't seen during the show of the day, showing pickups and knowledge. Jake, A Legends Never Die, had an amazing pickup that I'm sure he will showcase very well on his channel. Got to pick the brain of John Mangini throughout the night, which was really awesome. He's a walking encyclopedia and has one of the most extensive collections on YouTube. And just talking with everybody on Friday night in that beautiful rooftop bar, sharing drinks, sharing stories, cards, it was unbelievable. When they say the National is about the people, not the cards, they really mean it. I picked up so many amazing cards for my PC, but the memories from this National are really going to be about the people and about these meet and greets. Talking with dealers and these fellow YouTube collectors. Unbelievable. Saturday, it was a half day for me. It was a slow day. I have a very small stack of stuff to show. But on Saturday, it was really about just some final thoughts and soaking it in. I really just walked the show floor. I looked for some last minute deals because people are trying to unload as much as they can. And I got some cool stuff. I traded a couple new cards for a pretty nice card for my collection. And I used a little bit of the money that I had left on some smaller deals, some cool stuff nonetheless. But it was really just about soaking in the experience and saying goodbye to some of the awesome people that I met throughout the week. Brian Roth was set up at the National for the first time, so I got to support his table and chat with him and stuff. Lou Rock TV had not seen the Clemente booth in the back, so when I ran into him and brought it up, I walked him over there. And if you haven't seen on his video what he picked up, some real sick stuff at that booth. Won't spoil it here, but he's got a great eye and added some really great stuff to his collection. Just chatting with everybody about their pickups. Big Scott laid a shirt on me that I will definitely rep in one of my future videos. I just had an absolute blast talking to all of you guys throughout the week, adding all these great cards to my collection, picking your guys' brains, picking the dealers' brains, learning about new sets, dipping my toes into pre-war. It was just unbelievable. An experience that, as expensive and as exhausting as it was, is worth it for every single one of you that has not went. If you love this hobby like I do, you need to make it to a National. I understand that things can get in the way. I'm not 100% sure that I'll be in Chicago next year, but I do know that I'm going to try. And a big part of the reason I'm going to try is because of how positive this experience was for me. I definitely really needed it. And it's something that, like any vacation, it costs money, there's time that you have to take out for it. But it's unbelievable. For those of you that weren't able to make it to the National, I hope hearing my stories and seeing my pickups will help hold you over until the next one that you can see. It was unbelievable. I am so glad that I went. And I thank all of you for your support, watching my content, introducing yourself to me, sharing stories, sharing knowledge. And I hope that I can continue to do that for the next generation of collectors as well. So, appreciate you guys for watching. I'm going to get into the cards that I picked up now. It really is surreal that it's over, but happy to be back home and definitely looking forward to next year. So let's get into the cards. So I decided to go back to the table where I got these $20 slabs of Ichiro, Scott Rowland, and Dirk Nowitzki just to see if they'd picked up any more stuff, put out any new stuff, and kind of just give it a second look, because as soon as I got those slabs, I kind of just got out of there. He had this sitting on his table. This is a 2003 Leaf exhibit of Albert Pujols. And it is numbered 45 out of 46. Now, a lot of you know that despite me being a Red Sox fan, Albert Pujols has been my favorite player to watch growing up. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer in the middle of his last season. And I love the exhibit cards. I love the oversized vintage. This kind of checks a lot of boxes, as baseball collector Mike likes to say. It was a really nice thing, and I saw it on the table for $10, which wasn't an unreasonable ask, but whenever you're at a card show, especially a big one like that, try to bundle. You will get a really nice price that way. So he had a box to the side. He didn't have a lot of vintage, but he had a box to the side that said, "Vintage, make me an offer." And I looked through it. Some were commons. I found this 1954 Bowman Hoyt Wilhelm. And I love the color match on the bottom with the New York Giants. It's got some staining, but good eye appeal overall. And then he had 3 of these. And this is not what I was expecting to see in a Make Me an Offer side bin. But a 33 DeLong. The only Hall of Famer he had was right here, Goose Goslin of the Washington Senators. I was so concerned about what to offer him. I'm dipping my toes into pre-war more. I know that the Gehrig and the set goes for a lot of money. The back is shot. I wish the back was cleaner, but because the back was shot, I was able to get these 3 cards for $30. So to add a Hall of Famer from this set to my collection at basically $10, $15, cannot go wrong. I was looking through some value slab boxes, and I got this beautiful 1954 Topps Phil Rizzuto. The centering on this is pretty good, not great. A little off center left to right. But as you guys know, I was looking for the Al Kaline rookie as probably my number 1 card for the National, which Picker Jim got a really nice one, but most of them that I was seeing were way too highly graded. For my price range, I was looking for a nice 1, 2, maybe a 3. But a lot of the cards were either raw and overpriced or 5s to, I saw an 8. So I got a 54 Topps with that beautiful red in the background. And he had this listed for $35. I asked him what his best was. He said 30, and I said I was thinking 25. And we struck up a deal here for 25. I walk over 2 tables, and I see this same exact card in a PSA 7 with an ask of $250. And the edges on this card are not good. But when you line this up with the PSA 7, the color in the registration in the centering, I really could not tell the difference until I looked at the edges. And I got it for 10% of what the ask was for a PSA 7 of the same card. In vintage, I think the grade range is a lot more speculative. There's certain things that can bring a card's grade down with the vintage cards, but this is just a really nice example for the collection, and I'm happy I walked away with a 54 Topps. And now I made the trade. So I was looking to unload a couple newer cards that I brought. I had a Tom Brady gold refractor that was exclusive in 2009 to the Walmart complete sets. And I had a Topps rookie debut gold of Mookie Betts. Two cards that I like as a Boston sports fan, but neither card is really in what I collect for Modern. I like that stuff, but when I saw what they were selling for on eBay, I said, I need to bring these to the National and see if I can get a bigger card and some cash for other cards. And that's what I did. Upper Deck game patch, Albert Pujols from 2005. It's 3 colors there. The red, the blue, and the white. I don't know if it's from the name or the number on the road jersey, which is actually the Pujols jersey that I own for myself. And you cannot beat the Upper Deck certification. You have received an Albert Pujols game-used patch trading card from the Upper Deck Company. On the front of this card is an authentic piece of patch from a jersey worn by Albert Pujols in an official Cardinals Major League Baseball game. We hope you enjoyed this piece of MLB history as we at Upper Deck continue to keep you as close as you can get. They don't do that anymore. You get a crazy patch, and it could be a jersey that the team never wore. But that is just an unbelievable thing. I was able to trade those 2 cards that I brought for this and some cash. And it's something that was on my National Goals video after watching Lou Rock's challenge, all the amazing patches that I saw of Hall of Famers or soon-to-be Hall of Famers. I wanted a 2 or 3 colored patch of a player that I love. And can't get much better in my book than Albert Pujols. So I'm going to go out with this one. There's going to be a couple videos that I took throughout the show. Between my phone battery and the internet, it was not perfect, but definitely took some images and video at the show for you guys. And for all of you that I met at the National, thank you. For those of you that have supported me on YouTube, and I didn't get to meet at the National, I hope to meet you at a later date. Appreciate you guys as always for listening. Have a great weekend. Peace.
That's almost impossible. What is that? That's one of his first on-card autos.
Oh, that's sick.
Sorry, the Schmidt got in the way there.